So, the first episode of Gundam, The Witch from Mercury just came out, and with the return of 1v1 Gundam fights, big Yuri energy, and amazing animation. It was a great start, with a few flaws here and there, but yeah, it started with a bang. Literally. However, it raised many questions that are very important to the plot. The good news is, we have answers to some of those questions thanks to a light novel for G-Witch titled The Cradle World, which is tied with Yoasobi's release of The Blessing, the anime's opening. The novel documents Soletta's childhood and growth into a teenager alongside her mobile suit, Gundam Ariel. The story begins in Mercury Orbital Base Pebi Colombo 23, which operates in Mercury's orbit. This novel answers 4 very important questions. Number 1, what is Gundam Ariel? Number 2, why is Ariel allowed into school despite being a Gundam, considering Gundams were banned in the prologue? Number 3, what has Elnora been up to? And number 4, who is the witch from Mercury? First, let's talk about Gundam Ariel. The novel reveals that Ariel is actually a sentient robot that serves as a companion to Soletta. In fact, the Cradle World tells its story from Gundam Ariel's perspective. While growing up, the girl uses her Gundam to perform rescue missions. The novel says that on Mercury, even the slightest error results in death, as solar winds plague the lives of Mercurians. However, for me, this raises the question, why do people even live on Mercury's orbit if the place is that dangerous? Or maybe there's something special about the place that we just don't know yet. But after reading the novel again, I realized it's really because of the prologue's events. A lot of bad things happened in the prologue, and now it's actually really hard for Soletta and Elnora to find a home. I guess they really had to settle for Mercury. Soletta is the only child on Mercury, and thus she didn't have any friends, further making sense of her socially awkward personality in episode 1. On top of that, the elders of Mercury didn't treat her very well. With that said, Soletta and her Gundam share a sisterly bond and could really only rely on each other. Second, it's also revealed that Ariel's status as a Gundam is something that is kept secret. So that kinda explains why Ariel was allowed into Aztekasha school in episode 1. However, Elan Ceres recognized Ariel's Gundam technology, and this could lead to many interesting challenges in the story moving forward. Third, the novel tells us what Elnora has really been up to, and that she actually has a secret agenda. She's been moving between Earth and Mercury over the past years due to work, even to the point of missing many of Soletta's birthdays. And in the end, Ariel tells us that she and Soletta are Elnora's tools for vengeance against the Mobile Suit Development Council. This leads me to think that G-Witch will eventually become a battle of children versus adults, as the story so far establishes the adults as villains. The adults have established a system that do not give children the freedom of choosing what they want to do. And what Delling and Elnora have in common is that they're both using their children as tools for personal agendas. Actually, we could consider Elnora the female version of Flit from Gundam Age. Ariel is actually aware of Elnora's intentions, but the Gundam is programmed to fulfill her creator's desires. Despite this, Ariel wishes for Soletta to not be involved. And we also get a scene where Soletta mentions the quote her mother told her, the quote that would shape and drive Soletta's character. And lastly, who is the witch from Mercury? Based on information from the light novel, the witch from Mercury is most probably Elnora, who has been called a witch by Delling himself. This leads me to think that Elnora might secretly be the masked woman seen in one of the trailers, while wearing a brown wig to further conceal herself. So yeah, this light novel answers some of the questions raised in episode 1, and I really hope Ichiro Okuchi does well with the rest of the show. My main problem right now with G-Witch is how powerful Ariel was early in the game, having defeated an ace pilot with little effort thanks to funnel type weapons, which are supposedly endgame tech. I hope Okuchi does well to challenge Soletta and continuously raise the stakes to produce a good story. And that's it for the video. I hope this helped you somehow. Credits to the person who translated this. I don't know who you are, but you were an amazing person. You all have a nice day, and let's all keep watching G-Witch.